Tenet is 2.5 hours long. That means 15 to 30 minutes of trailers. That's 3 hours sitting in a seat. Plus a half hour to an hour of waiting for your seat. So it's 3.5 hours, 4 hours. You have to wear a mask the entire time. Sounds pretty fun. Greetings all, I'm Jake S. Weissman. I have a lot to get through today, so I'm just going to dive right in. Most of what we're going to be talking about today is the Tenet release. I'll get to it. Both The Hollywood Reporter and Deadline.com have reported the same story. An analyst for a major investment banking company, essentially in so many words, said, if we're worried about safety, then nothing's going to come out in 2020. But if we are concerned about getting investment back and keeping theaters alive, it doesn't matter. We should open things up as soon as possible. This is the quote right here.
The analyst in his report highlighted that he has in recent months expressed, quote, concerns around a state of flux for the second half 2020 film release calendar and the inability of major exhibition chains to reopen theaters profitably without new film content. While he continues to believe that, he also wrote on Wednesday, quote, we are less certain that studios will wait for the perfect date to release their films, as that perfect date may never arrive. In other words, waiting for every major market to have optimal reopening rules for the movie theaters, especially around capacity limits, may end up pushing most, if not all, titles into 2021. And if studios are concerned about the health of their exhibitor partners, they may not choose to wait much longer.
And of course, both websites, news sources, have been predicting 70% losses for the year, 20% losses for next year. Things aren't really getting back on track. People were really hoping, but everything really looks like it's not getting back on track. Finally, some major news sources are speaking up and saying what we all kind of knew already. One of the previous episodes, I talked about New Jersey theater owners trying to sue the governor to reopen their theaters. Today, a judge denied that. So while we have theaters here struggling to stay open because they have no new content, there are theaters in New Jersey that are aping to open just so that they can stay alive. And I'll just say as an aside, this stuff is really hard to find. I have to wade through article after article of crap. Just a bunch of stuff that doesn't really seem to matter to me. I don't know why every article isn't about the health and safety of the entire industry, but there are just articles about gossip and people taking roles and business going on as usual. And I have to dig and dig and dig and dig to find any kind of dry news and try and break it down to something that is reasonable. The drier the news, the more interesting it actually is. It's just not very sexy to talk about analytics, unless you're me. Ooh. It's a lot sexier to talk about Nick Cannon being ignorant. That's a different episode. So, congratulations, Jada and Will. You are very, very popular. But I'm just trying to find some information about how these movies are going to be released and how this industry can actually stay alive to show the next Jada Pinkett Smith or Will Smith movie. All of a sudden yesterday, I started seeing lots of articles about Tenet release. And all the different ways that the studios and the filmmakers and exhibitors can work together to make this happen. I have a feeling that all these articles came out. There's an IndieWire, there's a Forbes, again, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter. I think it's because China's reopening theaters on Monday. If China's straight up reopening theaters, everyone really needs to think about their game. I said it before, I'll say it again. If they can make their money back, they will. This brings up a lot of questions about the North American release. And South American release. I don't think Brazil's doing too well with the cough right now. Ugh. 3 hours in a mask. That's just terrible. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Ah. That was funny. That's a good one. What do we got? So with China opening up, Europe is doing better. All of these countries around the world are doing better and dealing with the cough better than the Americas are doing. Now the dance begins. I'll link the IndieWire article down below. I think they do a really good job of breaking down all the different ways that they can go about releasing Tenet so that people are happy. We're in a really interesting spot right now. This is quite a crossroad. So much so that I don't really know how to approach this because I feel like we're getting close to the center of the roundabout. We're really going to see what all this means if theaters internationally can open and Americans have to stay inside. I guess, first of all, bravo, Tenet has been in the news since March. There hasn't been one movie, aside from maybe Mulan, that has been advertised more this year. That's great. That's great for Warner Brothers. That's great for the film and the filmmakers. I see stills from the movie on all of these articles. When will Tenet be released? When will Tenet be released? That's free publicity. It's brilliant. That's better than anything you could get paying for on television, trying to figure out the demographics. This is free publicity. That's great. Now, what do we do with it? I suspect what's going to happen if we cannot get the numbers under control. We will be releasing these films internationally and figuring out the exclusive in-home purchase rental via streaming in the Americas. Much to everybody's chagrin, I think that's what it's going to boil down to. If you read these articles, it's pretty much boiling down to that as well. You can't release these movies too far in advance. It's not unknown for Avengers to open a few days or even a week earlier across the sea than in America. We don't seem to mind that. That's cool. These movies, Tenet cannot be out for months and months without this hemisphere being able to watch it as well. And it's fascinating to think what that could mean. What's interesting right now is Forbes says, oh, the big problem with this is spoilers. You don't want the spoilers. People are afraid that, they'll be writing about the plot points because everybody in Asia already knows what's going on in Wonder Woman. Okay. There's another guy, I can't remember the article that I read, so I apologize. Mea culpa. Where they said the big problem is pirating. Okay. The big problem is pirating. I'll take that before spoilers. I think what everyone is trying to gingerly tiptoe around is what I said in one of my last episodes. Americans just don't take that kind of shit very well. And we're a little up our own ass. If they can do it, we should be able to do it. End of story. If we can open it in theaters over there, then we should open it in theaters over here. The analyst already said if we don't open soon, theaters are going down. The head of NATO already said if we don't open soon, theaters are going down. We have theaters that are opening and buying stock with no content to show and dumping money into the void until they cannot reopen. Some of these companies are getting their PPPs through, but again, those are loans with interest. So thank you for the $150,000 loan with interest. I don't know when I have to start paying that back, and I don't know how much that interest actually is. But I do have to eventually get that back, right? Isn't that what a loan is? It's not a grant. Something to think about. I mean, will the banks and the government end up owning all these movie theaters by the end of it because of these loans and faltering? I don't know what happens if people can't pay it back. Is it just straight foreclosure? We decidedly don't have a Ministry of Film here. I don't think that's what we're going for. That's pretty much it. Chinese theaters are opening. American theaters aren't. There's a big fight to reopen and to stay alive, while there's an ethical quandary going on of should there even be this experience right now? I don't think it's about spoilers as much as it's this weird intrinsic right that we should be able to watch movies when everybody else is able to watch movies. So, where do we go from here? We release Tenet internationally. Make that paper. We open Tenet, all these other movies overseas, how we can. That means we'll be left to streaming or opening theaters. It's looking like we're trying to open theaters. I think when everybody gets sick, they will figure out that this is not a good idea. The governor of California already closed them down. The mayor of Chicago is this close to doing it. It's not a smart thing to do right now. You shouldn't be going to the movie theater. Okay, so we're living in a world now where everybody over here gets to watch the movies in a theater, but everybody over here needs to watch it streaming. What do we have set up right now? $20 Amazon premium exclusive rental in theater purchase, right? $20 rental, and you have 4 days to watch it. Okay. Now, what can we do from there? We can evolve this a little bit. The window can either get smaller or the window can get bigger, right? Right now it's $20 for 4 days. What if soon it's $20 for 2 days or $20 for 1 day? And then it's $25 for 3 or 4 days, the way we have it right now. Okay. Or we can expand the window and up the price a whole lot. Let's just say $75. What's that worth? If all of these exclusive in-theater rentals are $20 each, it's $80 for 4 movies. You charge $75 a month and you can watch 6 in-theater rentals per month. See all the new movies right at your TV. $75 sounds a little steep until you start thinking about how much you go to the movies each month, how much you spend at the movies each month, and how much you're going to have to pay for it if you don't have such a membership. I see this as the way we're going. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I truly think we're at, choose your metaphor, fork in the road, roundabout, some sort of... It's a road metaphor, right? I don't know where we are in this journey, but something's about to happen. Don't expect Tenet to come out. If Tenet comes out, this is the desperate last gasp and grasp of movie theaters. They're willing to put it all on the line, all or nothing. If they open, maybe theaters will exist for a couple more months, but I bet you anything that will for sure be the final nail on this coffin that has so many nails already. Think about MoviePass. Yeah, you didn't pay $75 for it, but the people who understood MoviePass wrung it dry. MoviePass had no idea what hit them. They pretended to act like they knew what the fuck was going on, and they have no idea what hit them, and they were gone just as fast as they came. And everybody that I know that had it, or I worked at the theater and used it, everyone used the shit out of it because no one could figure out how anyone was making any money off of it. You do this $75 thing, you spend way more than $75 at the theater, sometimes each time you go. And now you can have the entertainment inside your house. If you have a big family and all of these kids' movies come out, it's worth it. It's part of your entertainment budget. But we're going to have to figure this out because Peacock is coming out, and soon there's going to be so many different things to do that pirating actually will be an issue again. I'm not the first one to bring that up. Remember, Backpack, my invention, the aggregate for all of these things. Orbits for your movie memberships, where there are different tiers of how many memberships you can get and what it will allow. You pay $20 a month, you can get Prime and Netflix. And then you have an aggregate search for both Prime and Netflix. If you pay $100 a month, you get HBO, Prime, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, and then an aggregate search for all of it. All together. If you pay $200 a month, you get everything including in theater purchases with the aggregate. So when you type in Tenet, there it is. You can watch it because you pay up the butt. But if you're going to pay up the butt anyway, you might as well have it all in the same spot. Backpack. My shout outs today to Jack Quint, let them all go to hell except Cave 76, and Madison Dempsey again for reading one of my scripts. Thanks, kid. As always, thank you for your special insight, Hillary Stroshine. The song of the episode is by a band called I Don't Know How, But They Found Me. The song is called Nobody Likes the Opening Band. Very Queen. Listen to it loudly. The book of the episode, Tough Shit by Kevin Smith. I was talking about it this morning. There's a great story about him telling Harvey Weinstein to go fuck himself. And I remember reading that story on the train and thinking, oh my God, you burned that bridge. Holy crap. And then 2 years later, the article came out. So read this book. It's really, really good. Lots of great anecdotes. And we all love Kev. Fuck Harvey Weinstein. Do I even need to say it? The movie of the episode, I'm feeling so many different things, so it's a double feature. 50 Goes West and Dread. Just don't ask me any other. Just stop.
8 spices? Some must be doubles. Oregano? What the hell?
Click, clack, clack, clack. Click, click, clack, clack. Click the thing. But then also click the other thing. Click, 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 click it, click the video, click it, click it, click on the thing, click on the video.